If you create a listing on Etsy and it just does absolutely nothing, you might want to stick around for this video, because in this video, I'm going to share with you guys how I was able to grow my business, creating the perfect listings and to scale my Etsy business. For those that don't know, my name is Vlad. I'm the owner of Tag Pup. It's one of the top pet product stores on Etsy. And I want to share with you guys my secrets on how I think about listings. What are the good practices to implement in your listing creation if you really want to get traction? A lot of times when I look at people's listings, it just doesn't have the proper structure to those listings that would, if you were just to create your listing differently, there would be a whole nother ball game. Now, when you post something on Instagram or TikTok, you'll notice that some postings will either do really well and some postings will just have absolutely nothing. And Etsy performs very similarly to that. So if your listing is just a little bit different, all of a sudden it has a whole different fate in the future. And so what are the things that you need to pay attention to when you are creating listings? By the way, if you're new to this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification, because I will have more videos where I'm just sitting down with you guys and talking about some good practices when you're selling on Etsy. I built my business from the ground up, from a $100 sewing machine to now owning machines that most of you guys can't afford, but I grew my business to that place, and I want to share all the secrets with you guys. So subscribe to this channel, because this is where you're going to get the raw truth, the real truth, exactly what I did to my business and what really allowed me to grow my business. Because at the end of the day, you want to put money in your pocket, you want to grow your business so that it can sustain you. And because, well, what's the point of selling on Etsy if you're not really implementing things that actually help you grow your business? So if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe to this channel. So the first thing I wanted to say, a lot of times people, they don't have a balanced approach to listings. They focus too much on the wrong things and they waste their time, but then they don't make enough time for the right things. So let's kind of talk about the priorities, and kind of based on those priorities, we're going to build down further from the listing. So the number one priority is your thumbnail. The moment you get your thumbnail, they take a long time to think about thumbnail. Now, I do talk a lot about thumbnails. And if you want to subscribe to this channel, I'm sure I'll make videos about how to create the perfect thumbnails. So you create your thumbnail, because at the end of the day, we have to realize that the algorithm, its first contact with your listings, or the first pieces of data it's going to collect for your listing is going to be click-through rate, right? Customers are clicking. If you take a look at, like, say 1,000 people come in contact with your listings, well, if your click-through rate is, let's just say 5%. Or 10%, right? Because there's other people selling. That's only like 100 people. And conversion rate is, say, 3%. 100 people, maybe 3 or 2 people will buy. But that's not enough data to really understand what your listing is. But 100 clicks is more information about what the product is. So the first initial kind of direction of your listing will be determined by your clicks, or by the customer's clicks. So thumbnail is going to be our most important thing, because this is what we're telling our customers, this is what we're selling. Once we have the thumbnail, and by the way, in some of the videos I did talk about that you need to have a clear communication on your value proposition. So if your thumbnail, you're creating the thumbnail, you are clear on your value proposition, then what you're going to need to do is you're going to do title and tags. That's the second step. You're going to make sure that the title and tags match exactly what your thumbnail is. When you're creating any pieces of content, like on Instagram is not as important because people just start watching a reel, but places like YouTube, thumbnail is important. But not only that, but making sure that the viewers come across your thumbnail, they click on it, and the video is explaining that. And I'm still trying to figure that out on YouTube. But on Etsy, it's very similar to that degree, where they see the thumbnail, they click on it, and they want to make sure that what they clicked on it was exactly what they're looking for. So you want to make sure that the accuracy of what the thumbnail is the same on title and tags. Now, the reason I say title and tags, because there is an SEO element to this. You're telling the algorithm, hey, this is what this product is by these title, by the title, by the tags. And when customers click on it, essentially what happens is, say you're selling a cat toy, right? You're looking for a fuzzy cat toy. When they type in fuzzy cat toy, and then they click on your listings, that pretty much confirms that, hey, this is a fuzzy cat toy. Or they've been recommended a bunch of stuff and you're a cat person and you're going through toys and you're like, oh, that's a cool one. So then you click on the fuzzy toy more than say a rubber toy. I don't know much about cat toys, but then the algorithm says not only is it a fuzzy toy, but it's actually preferred more than the rubber toy. And so it'll take this fuzzy toy and recommend to anybody that is looking for any cat toy. So now you're ranking not only on the keyword fuzzy toy, but you're also ranking better on the keyword cat toy, better than say a rubber toy. So what you're growing your SEO, or you're growing your recommendation, because you've told the algorithm what you are, the customers have confirmed that that's what you have, and it's introducing to customers that are not actively looking for it, and it's saying, hey, this keyword or this product is better than this keyword, or this product or keyword, and I'm going to rank it higher. So it just builds up on top of that. But you need to initially introduce to the algorithm exactly what your product is, and click-through rate is going to be the determiner whether your product is where it needs to start to rank or compete with other products. So you create your thumbnail, you create your thumbnail, you create your title and tag, make sure that really close to what your product is. And now there's other things you need to consider when writing the tags, but for now, let's just kind of stick to that. So once you've created your tags, you've created your title, what you want to think about as your overall listing is that make your listing shoppable, meaning if your customer never comes to your store, that's okay. In fact, I would actually encourage you guys to think about your listing. Hey, can I have the customer shop my listing, not my shop? Can the customer just finish their buying journey right here? I know we kind of want to have them come to our store and buy more stuff, but that might happen like 1 out of 100 customers, but we need to focus on the majority. And we just want that sale. So make the listing in such a way that it represents what they're going to find in your overall shop. Because the moment your customers are clicking around, that just decreases your chance of them actually buying from you. So you want them to stay on the listing and get everything they wanted in the listing. So make sure that there is enough variations or enough or options that they can choose. Not too much, because you don't want them to be overwhelmed. But if there's something you can upsell, for my dog collars, I sell a collar, but then I also sell the leash. They don't have to go to my store to get that leash. So make your listing where they're going to shop on that listing, and that's it. Okay, so don't make it, well, they can click on my listing or click on my store and then find more stuff. No, if you're doing a gift box, make sure there's a box there with the gift, or maybe they can just buy the box. Things like that you really got to start thinking about, because you essentially want to come alongside the customer and serve them in the way that they need. And then when you're making changes to your listing, let's just say time has gone by, where can you change your listing so that it doesn't start to rank down? You can change your thumbnail, because thumbnail is just saying the click-through rate will either go up or go down. You can't change your title or tags, because all of a sudden you're going to, the algorithm's going to re-index, right? Unless you're really screwed up on your titles and tags, don't change those, okay? Because those are going to really screw up your ranking, okay? It's just you're taking a piece of code and you're telling the algorithm, hey, refresh this whole piece of code, refresh this whole ranking that I've achieved. So make sure that you're not messing with the titles and tags. You can change the thumbnail, because it can either increase your conversion rate or decrease your conversion rate. That same thing goes for all the photos. You can also play around with price. That's fine. One thing I want you guys to note, that when you're changing your price, making it cheaper doesn't mean you're going to sell more. Now, overall, yes, things that are cheaper sell better, but the algorithm actually would prefer that you sell it at a higher price, because they make more money. Etsy makes more money when you sell a higher ticketed item. And if you're able to sell a higher ticketed item better than your competitors that are selling it at a cheap price, that is also an indicator to the algorithm saying, hey, wow, people are buying this better despite it being a higher price. That means it must be a better product. So just because you're going to make it cheaper does not mean you're going to do better on that. So playing around with price is definitely something you want to try around, but don't go too far down. Don't assume that just because it's cheaper, it's going to be a better sale. And plus, customers might be assuming that this is a bad product or a cheap product. So make sure that you do experiment with price, and it's okay to change that. And the last thing I wanted to say, and this is more about be aware of this, because when their customers are looking at your listing, their part of your listing is going to be your competitor stuff. Now it's going to be your shop, more stuff in the shop. There'll be this kind of a widget where they can go to your shop, but right below that is going to be your competitors. So if customers are scrolling past your thumbnail, title, description, they're already not interested. And so the Etsy platform, basically what it does, like, oh, if you're not happy with that, hey, we have more. Now, sometimes there'll be a widget right above your listing. That's the first thing they see, and then it's like your image and your title. And that oftentimes happens when your listing is not recommended by Etsy, and they just came to your listing, to your shop around, and it's not doing well on the algorithm. Then Etsy will actually not trust or not rely on your listings to make the sale. So they'll put other listings that are more likely to make a sale. So you have to realize that the algorithm, if you're not doing good, the algorithm doesn't want to be your friend. It wants to sell to the customers, even if it means to use your listing to sell something else. So you're constantly fighting for that attention, whether it's right before or all the way down to the bottom. So really think about, what is the customer seeing when they come to your listings, because you want to fight back. You want to create a listing with so much value that they almost don't need to look at those recommendations, and then the algorithm will recognize that, and it will start to recommend your above other people's listings. So that's really where it's a game changer to create listings that are actually desired by the customer. Instead of just pumping out 1,000 listings, you really got to think about each listing and say, how can I win over the competitors that will show up above my listing or below my listing? So really give the attention, because that's really where the sales are made, not even in SEO. So hopefully you found this video useful. If you want more videos of the inside deeper dive on things like this, make sure to subscribe. Now, I also replaced the 9-to-5 income with just 30 minutes a day. If you guys want to check out this video, that's where I show you how I did that. Now, if you guys want a free training on a step-by-step exactly how I did that, check out the link in the description below. And until next time, you guys have a great one.